They come up to me, and in regards to the reading the Bible in public, they were very hostile to us that entire day, those specific officers. But they were dressed in very scanty clothes. Some of them were in lingerie, dancing in front of the children, doing sexual performances. The children were giving dollar bills to the drag queens. It was pretty much being run like a strip show even.
That was a Christian warrior, Marcus Schrader, last night explaining the moment he was arrested for reading aloud Bible passages at an all ages drag queen dance party and drag storytime hour. All ages, kids were there. Let's bring in the Eric Metaxas radio show host and author of Letter to the American Church, Eric Metaxas. Eric, we were blown away by this. And frankly, we got a ton of emails last night because people were ticked off. That young man was reading the Bible. He was arrested. He was arrested by a Wisconsin state trooper and a local cop while the drag queen story hour was going on with little kids in view and in earshot of this drag queen story hour. But this kid gets arrested for reading the Bible. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are what I've said on this program a few times in the past. In a way, Christians have it coming because we have not stood up. Many Christians in America think that fighting for what's right is not a biblical value. They think it's our job to kind of lie down. And the fact of the matter is, it's one thing to love your enemy. It's another thing to be silent in the face of evil. What we're seeing, the sexualization of children being exposed to this kind of stuff. I mean, listen, no one should be exposed to this kind of stuff. This is vile stuff. And nobody, when we were having the debate for same-sex marriage, thought that people like this would keep going and would want to sexualize our children. So if anybody dares to call himself or herself a Christian, you need to fight this. You need to be out and loud and proud about your faith, because this is an attack on children. It's an attack on children. That's kind of where we have to draw the line. We have to say that I don't care what you think about where I'm coming from. You don't need to be a Christian to think that this is disgusting and inappropriate for kids. But if you're a Christian and you see Christians being targeted the way this young man was targeted, you understand it's game on, and it's our job to stand up, to exercise our First Amendment rights, and to speak out and to push back hard, very hard.
Hi, Eric, what about the mixed message? I'm a Catholic. The Pope says be inclusive, be diverse, welcome LGBTQ people, and it's very confusing for me. I don't know.
No,
help me out.
Of course it's confusing.
I don't know.
Listen, there is no doubt that this Pope is a bizarre figure in history. In modern times, we have not had a Pope like this. And I think this is where you look to the God of the Bible and you look to Jesus if you're a Christian, because we can have spiritual leaders who are off, okay? It's disturbing when they're off. But when you talk about being inclusive, we're supposed to reach out and love to everyone. We're supposed to love the sinner and hate the sin, okay? So if somebody is, let's say, attracted to a young person, okay, I'm supposed to say unequivocally, that is wrong. You must never act on that. But it doesn't mean I don't have compassion to this person in their brokenness. But we have to be really clear on the morality. And when you have a pope sending mixed messages, and when you have leadership in the evangelical church sending mixed messages, that is evil, because you're going to harm all kinds of people. You're going to harm the faithful. You're going to harm young people who are wondering what is going on. So that is something that's why each of us has to have a personal faith. We have to know, what does the Bible say? What have Christians believed for centuries?
Eric,
vital.
Does the Pope saying what he said, is that coming from, so are you supposed to attribute that just to the man, Pope Francis, not to the Pope being a representative of God on earth? How do we know the difference?
No, that's a great question. And, even though I'm not a Catholic, I want to say that Catholics have to be clear that Catholic doctrine never taught that the Pope is infallible. It teaches that when he is speaking, quote unquote, ex cathedra, in an official capacity, he is speaking for God. But most of the time when he's just making opinions or when he's just giving his opinion.
Which one was that, Eric? Which one was he ex cathedra when he said we need to be inclusive with LGBTQ, or was he
That's what I'm saying,
not?
is that in history, popes almost never, ever speak ex cathedra. It's a very, very official thing. So the policy that the Catholics believe in, that the Pope is infallible, that's not really true. They don't believe that. What Catholic doctrine teaches is that when he is speaking in a very particular way, everything this Pope has said does not fall under that category. But because so many people who are Catholic think, oh, the Pope is infallible, he's the representative of Christ on earth, anything he says is true. Many things he says are false. There have been popes that have said stupid things. It doesn't change the fact God's truth doesn't change, even if you have a pope who is deeply confused, as this pope very sadly is. But he's leading the faithful astray. He's confusing the faithful. And it's why you have to really know your faith. And if you know your faith, you know what the Bible says. And
Altar
right,
boy,
too.
Catholic high school, Jesuit high school, I'm sorry, Catholic undergraduate, middle school, Jesuit high school, and I am completely confused by this Pope as well. Eric Metaxas, really good having you on. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.